What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am on the test server. In today's video, guys, we're gonna have a look at the free champion that we're gonna get for this event, the Community Awards. So he's going to be a Sacred Order champion, and he's going to be a support champion, IUDEX ARTOR. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. Basically, he's going to provide you with some support. Revive, you're going to get an increased attack, the strengthen, turn meter boost, healing from the A1 skill, but that is the only healing. Then revives a single ally on a 4-turn cooldown, and that will be with increased attack, and it will instantly activate basically an ally attack on the ally that is getting revived, and he will use the default skill. Then you have the passive. If an enemy is killed by an ally's default skill after being revived by the revival mandate, resets the cooldown of that skill, which is pretty interesting. We have a speed aura for all arena battles. Arena battles, not all battles, my bad. Now, one thing that I would say, I would not make him my main turn meter booster. And that's mainly because his base speed is actually pretty low at 102. You have much better champions that are at 110 or close to it, or 115 in some cases. And those champions, in my opinion, they're much better as turn meter boosters as the main one. But he can be the second turn meter booster to ensure that the enemy doesn't cut on you. Now, if I'm quickly going to give you guys a short review in terms of where can this champion actually be super, super good. Personally, I don't necessarily think that he's going to be amazing for the Hydra clan boss. And that's mainly because you have a small heal in here. You don't have a cleanse. You don't have immunity. Yes, you are getting the increased attack and strengthen. But I don't think he's anything amazing for the Hydra. Now, if you are early game progression, yes, you're going to be able to use this champion everywhere, okay? Especially if it's going to be before you're even getting your Arbiter. So, that being said, you definitely have some uses for him progression-wise. Then, moving more towards endgame content, guys, you can definitely use him in Siege Mode, Tag Team Arena, Faction Wars. So, you have a few different areas where you can actually use him. I don't think he's great for the Chimera either, because, as I've mentioned, no clans, no block debuffs, nothing that really synergizes well with that boss for the endgame. Progression-wise, yes, you can use him everywhere, as I've mentioned. Now, let me just quickly share with you the build that I chose to kind of like pick. There isn't too much that I can show you with this champion, to be honest, because, hey, he is a support champion, a reviver, and usually there isn't much that you can show with them right in the game. So this is the build. 2-turn stone skin, and I have a speed set. These are the stats: 106k HP. So the higher the HP, the better the healing, of course. 320 speed, 4.2k defense, no resistance. You don't need accuracy. You could build him with some decent amount of resistance, but to be honest with you guys, considering that he's not cleansing or doing anything like that, I can't really justify it or see the point where it's worth to sacrifice HP for that. I have the aspect of Siroth as a relic on the champion. As a blessing, I went with Life Harvest, so we're destroying some of the enemy max HP. And these are the masteries: defense, support. We have timely intervention as a tier 6. So let's actually see what we could potentially do with him for arena. Now, if we are talking about siege mode, or if we're talking about doing a full team with the Sacred Order, you can definitely pull some funky things off, especially if you don't have Siegfried. Now, keep in mind that this faction has Lady Noelle as well, which, in my opinion, she's a much, much better reviver. Like, you have the freeze, the block buffs, sorry, not the freezing here. You have the skill right here: target ally removes the ship or whatever. If Sir Nicholas is instantly activates the skill, you have the increased speed on all allies. revives all of your team on a 3-turn cooldown. Not a 4-turn cooldown, 3-turn cooldown. You have a speed aura for arena battles, which is better. She has slightly better speed base. Now, she doesn't give you turn meter. But, hey, she applies freeze. So, personally, I think that Lady Noelle, she is better than him. You can definitely combo some with the faction allies. You have Falmont right here, which is the faction unity champion. You can definitely pull some crazy things with them together. Now, keep in mind, you do have a very crazy reviver. And Cardinal, guys, is actually pretty damn solid, okay? This revive is one of the most powerful revive skills in the entire game. And that's mainly because you are able to allow the allies that you're reviving to instantly take a turn. No conditions required, no nothing, okay? And they can use whatever skill they want. So keep that in mind as well. Now, I do like that you are getting the increased attack and the strengthen. I feel like this faction is definitely lacking that increased attack champions. So that's actually pretty damn good if that's what you're looking for. Let's do a few fights and see what we can do with the champion. Personally, I think, I'm not sure if I said it already or I was planning to say it. I don't think it's necessarily the best thing to use the champion as the main turn meter booster, right? I feel like a secondary turn meter booster could definitely play out in a nice way. Now, what I do want to try is basically see how that revive skill will actually work, how efficient it's going to be. So I'm trying to find a good damage dealer that I could potentially bring in the team right here to ensure that Rotos is going to kill that damage dealer. Maybe I'm going to go with Xena. And I should bring in another one, but I got to make sure it's Force as well. I'm going to bring in Alice as well. So like this, we're safe. We have 2 nukers, both Force. Hopefully, Rotos is still going to prioritize one of them, right? So let's try to go and do some damage right there. We can boost. I'm gonna try to kill somebody or deal some damage. Maybe versus Ursaga, right? That should be good. Okay, now I need that Rotos to kill somebody. Either Alice, either Xena. Come on, Rotos. I know you can do it. Stop targeting only that HP damage dealer. Only my support champion. If I need better magic champions to bring in the team, man. Yeah, because Rotos is gonna go only for the weak affinity. Funny enough, I'm not sure when they changed that, because before it always used to target the lead, even if you are putting a strong affinity champion. But that was a while ago, so maybe it actually changed. I'm trying to look for a team without lockout to make sure that I'm gonna have the revive skill available. Because if I don't have that revive skill available, it's gonna be pretty pointless, right? So recently used. Let's drop Force and let's bring Thor back in. And god damn it, I need another magic champion that can work as a nuker or a spirit one. You know what? I think Luperfank can get the job done. Maybe no, not really, no. But let's just bring in. I'm gonna bring this bad boy in. Whatever happens, happens, guys. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, let's see. Get a buffs. Give me some buffs as well. I'm just gonna go A1. I'm not trying to basically kill them or anything like that. Okay, you go for Carnage. He's weak affinity. I know you want to do that. Not a problem. Can you just kill him, though? Can you just kill him? I want to revive. Thank you. Okay. Even now, it's still going for my support champion. The problem is, guys, the main problem with this champion, no clans, no immunity, okay? That is the biggest issue that I have with this champion. And the revive on a 4-turn cooldown. Okay, A1. Not much happened, okay? GG's. So, in terms of revive, to really proc that... I actually moved the gear from Carnage, that's why. To really proc that passive to decrease the cooldown, you need a crazy good damage dealer that hits hard with the basic skill. the enemies need to be pretty low. If not, do not really count on it, at least in arena, okay? Now, if we are going to actually use the champion in a proper way, right? So we're gonna bring in a full team around it and all that. And I can actually use Cena. Do I need a thermometer booster here? Not really, right? So let's bring in Xena. We can actually bring even a lockout, so we can bring in a Fabian, right? Let's bring Fabian and IUDEX Ultimate Death Knight, right? He's gonna tank the Rotos hits in here. Like these, we should be able to actually easily deal with the enemy team, right? You don't really need the buffs either from her, from the support champion all the time, right? But they can come in handy. You're getting the increased attack because right now that Sifi did not have a chance to actually buff. So we can just bang, wipe the rest. If Rotos does anything, it goes to UDK, so we don't have to worry about it. But as an idea, I feel like decent for Tag Team Arena, great for progression. Out of both of these things, I don't think you're really gonna gain a lot of value out of this champion. Faction Wars, right? Maybe on Faction Wars hard mode is going to be massive, right? Let me just not talk too early, right? I think it can definitely do something in there. So, as a second turn meter booster, best speed aura that I have 25%. I'm actually gonna bring in Arbiter. Why not? Let's bring in Arbiter, not Arbais. Hopefully I'm faster, so I'm gonna use that speed lead. So right here, to ensure that the enemy doesn't cut on my damage dealer, just in case if, for example, I'm not using a lockout or something like that, we can always use this champion as a secondary turn meter booster, right? So we can get a buffs on, and we have two revivers like this as well, which is good. And even though we've done that, it seems like we got resisted on Arbiter and they still cut on us, which is fine. And get more turn meter, and now we can just wipe them. But this as well is a very low-key type of strat to do when you're using it as a second turn meter booster. If we're gonna go versus a team that's slightly slower, Smiley right here maybe. Let's just say. So I'm not gonna bring in that Arbiter in here. I'm gonna go like this, and I'm looking to see what other Sulfurian to melt the stone skin if we can, if that Sif is not faster. Okay, so we do that. We haven't decreased the cooldowns. Sulfurian, melting that stone skin, give the buff, increase attack. We have everything that we need, and now we can just go in, do some serious damage. That's fine. Narcissus killed my damage dealer, which is actually perfect. I'm gonna revive with him right here. So let's see. Bang, bang, 2 hits. The second barely dealt any damage. Of course, UDK tanked pretty damn good in there. So let's drop some of the turn meter in there. Is Narcissus going to wreck me here? I'm gonna revive with Sulfurian this time around. Get some healing. I'm actually gonna try to fear him, just in case if he decides to go crazy on me, you know? Let's get some buffs back on. And now the shield can be a bit of a problem in here. Let's make sure we're locking that Narcissus again. I don't think that revive with the ally attack is that amazing, right? At least it needs to be very specific on an enemy that's low on the HP, on a team that's not crazy tanky. So like this, you can actually decrease the cooldown or deal enough damage to maybe recover some HP if you have the masteries to get that done. So we went for the lowest HP right there, which was of course UDK, and eventually we managed to win the fight, but we still haven't procced that passive. I'll be honest with you guys, as I've mentioned, I don't really think this champion is going to be like extremely OP for end game PvE. And if we're talking about progression wise, it's basically me going in a dungeon, and even like that, the build on this champion is not progression wise, it's pretty strong. So where are you progressing through the game? You're progressing through the dungeons, right? So let's just say we're going to go in here. We're going to go to recently used first. Let's look for some epic champions. So we're going to bring in Farrakhan the Fat Man. Vault. Okay. We can bring in a Fane. We can bring in a Husk. And let's bring in a Stagnite, right? So like this, yes, it will carry your team. The one thing to keep in mind once again, and I'm going to repeat it, no clans, no immunity. So that will make such a massive difference. The healing itself is 5% when is using the basic skill. But if you do not have much better revivers, I think this would be a solid legendary for your account. Now, one thing that I still want to mention, because I think is definitely very important for people that are progressing through the game that might be low spend, free to play. I think if you have epic revivers, I would not recommend you to invest books in this champion. Okay, so let me just put it like that. Do not invest books in this champion till you're getting to a place where you really need a champion for Faction Wars hard mode, or you think that this champion is really going to help you to progress in Tag Team Arena to unlock Ramantu or something like that. I just don't find this champion extremely powerful. Maybe I'm sleeping on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you think that, no, Skratch, you're an idiot, this champion is absolutely freaking amazing. You have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe I am in that situation. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. And indeed, this champion is super OP and stuff. But is a free champion. I think for a free champion is good. And usually the main thing that they're trying to achieve when they're giving us free champions is ensure that people that are coming new to the game, they're able to progress, etc. And I think the champion does that job. But you do need a healer next to him. So I feel like he will pair really nice, for example, with a Sky Touch Shaman, for example, or a different champion that cleanses and heals, right? So I think in a good combo like that, yeah, it would be absolutely amazing. But a team like this would work as well with another support champion progression-wise, because my gear is a bit too strong for this stage, right? So I'm kind of like smashing any of the stages that I'm going on, to be honest. And yeah, on stage 10 hard mode, this champion won't carry our team. Even if I'm bringing in another... I'm curious, actually. So if I'm going to bring in another support champion, so let's just assume we're dropping Fane. She's too squishy. So if I'm going to bring in Mitrala, let's bring in Mitrala. Can the two of them carry the entire team with the healing that we're getting, the cleanse from Mitrala, still no immunity? Because I do have good gear on the champions, right? Even my epic champions, they have good gear. So I'm very curious about this part to see. Let's see. Where are we getting with it? Okay. The waves shouldn't necessarily be the issue. The main concern right here is the boss. He self-buffs. He deals crazy damage on a stage 10 hard mode versus stage 25. This is a slow team, guys, but that's how progression teams are usually working. Much slower because they don't have that seer to just come in and bang, nuke the entire freaking wave, you know? Extra turn, put that defense down, the decrease attack. I'm gonna target Cardinal, just to make sure she's not gonna revive. So we're not wasting more time in here because that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay. Venus dropping the debuffs. You see, a cleanse from the champion would be amazing. So maybe increase attack, strengthen, and immunity plus Thermeter would have been nice. It would have been too much either, to be honest, because there's no cleanse. You're not getting like 30% Thermeter or anything like that. You don't have a full revive. It's not like it would be the next Siphi or anything like that, you know? So I feel like Plarium could have done a slightly better job with the champion, so it has a bit more utility all around the board. It would have been better for Chimera like that. It would have been better for Hydra, even for the clan boss in some scenarios. But hey, free is free, I guess, right? Let's see. So I do have the 2-ton stone skin, but is that going to be good enough? I might just have enough damage to keep the boss at... Oh, we don't. Okay. So curious if we are gonna win this fight. Super curious. Because this gives you guys a good example to kind of like understand how it would work on your team, for example. Considering that you have weaker gear on a lower stage, right? But you see, we just don't have enough healing like that. No clans to drop the poisons either. Thankfully, we have Mitrala in for that. No immunity to block the stun. And I knew it. I knew that we're just not going to win this as it is. And it's not because my damage dealers are trash or anything like that. It's just because it's not strong enough to carry us through some of these stages without bringing slightly better support champion. Okay, let me just put it like that. Either way, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about the champion? I'm kind of like, I think he's an average champion. I'm not impressed. But hey, maybe I'm just sleeping on it. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.